Welcome, everyone, to another deep dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're really digging into some compelling stuff around the global LED and OLED market, displays, lighting, the whole thing.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Exactly.
Ah,
I mean, if you've noticed how much sharper your phone screen looks, or maybe how efficient the lighting is in newer buildings,
mhm.
you're actually seeing this massive shift right there.
You really are.
So our mission today, well, it's to go beyond just the surface numbers from a recent market report we looked at. We want to unpack the, frankly, enormous scale of this change,
hmm
maybe uncover some surprising bits, and really get a handle on the forces driving it all.
And it's important to understand these aren't just incremental changes. We're talking about staggering transformations. It's driven by constant innovation, huge demand, and of course, that big push for energy efficiency.
Right.
The figures we're about to explore, they really paint a picture of just how big this evolution in light and displays really is.
Okay, let's jump right in then. The big picture first.
Yeah.
The global scale. It's just immense and growing fast.
Yeah.
Back in 2021, the market pulled in about $52.175 billion globally.
Which is already a pretty substantial number.
It is. But here's where it gets really interesting. I mean, almost mind-boggling, actually. The projections show this market isn't just, ticking up. It's really surging. We're looking at an estimated $86.5 billion by 2025.
A big jump in just a few years.
Exactly. And then hold on to your hat. An incredible leap to $237.753 billion by 2033.
Wow.
To put that in perspective, that's a compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, of 13.472%.
13.5%, basically.
Year after year for over a decade, double-digit growth consistently.
And like you said, these aren't just abstract figures. It really signifies how deeply these technologies are being adopted everywhere. Think about, the tiny OLED pixels in your watch sipping power,
Yeah.
or the huge, efficient LED panels lighting up entire stadiums, smart cities.
Right.
This rapid advancement is just fundamentally changing how we interact with light, with information. And it's fueled by that demand for brighter, better, more flexible, more efficient displays.
And the energy savings piece, too.
Absolutely. That global drive for sustainability, it's a huge factor, undeniably pushing this forward.
So with these huge global numbers, where's the growth happening? Let's dig into the regions, starting with the big one, Asia Pacific.
The dominant player for sure.
Absolutely leading the charge. In 2021, Asia Pacific alone, $19.096 billion in revenue.
Already a massive chunk of the global total back then.
Right? And looking ahead, it's projected to surge to an amazing $93.437 billion by 2033.
93 billion. Just for that region.
Yeah. And that gives Asia Pacific the highest regional CAGR. It's coming in at a really strong 14.158%.
And, when you look inside Asia Pacific, you see why it's such a powerhouse.
Okay.
Take India, for instance. Really remarkable growth projected, a CAGR of over 15%.
15, wow.
Yeah, 15.041%. It's set to jump from just under $2.8 billion in 2021 to nearly $15 billion by 2033.
Huge leap.
And China, naturally, is a massive engine, still showing very strong growth, 14.367% CAGR, pushing towards $29 billion by 2033.
Still very high double digits.
Definitely. But it's not just the giants. Look at Singapore, an impressive 14.770% CAGR, and Southeast Asia as a whole region, also very strong at 14.672%.
So it's really widespread across the region then.
Very much so.
And I saw figures for Japan, South Korea, Australia, Taiwan. They're also showing significant contributions, right? High double-digit KGRs there, too.
Exactly. They're all part of this boom. It really
Yeah.
underscores Asia Pacific's role, not just manufacturing, but also as this huge consumer market that's just pulling in these new technologies.
Fascinating. Okay, let's move west. Europe, also a very substantial market, holding its own. In 2021, sales revenue there was $10.539 billion, projections, climbing to $45.173 billion by 2033.
Just still more than quadrupling.
Yeah, it represents a very solid overall KGR of 12.96% for Europe. So steady integration of these techs.
And what's interesting in Europe, I think, is seeing how these mature economies are embracing the shift. Germany is a great example.
Leading the pack there.
Seems like it. Strongest KGR in Europe at 13.651%, projected to hit over $10.4 billion by 2033. The UK is also showing high growth, 13.287% AGR.
Okay.
And we're seeing significant adoption across Spain, Sweden, France, too. It's quite broad-based, really, driven by consumer demand, sure, but also those, stringent energy efficiency regulations they have.
That makes sense. And it's worth pointing out, even within that strong European picture, there are some variations.
Always are.
Markets like Russia, for example, show a comparatively lower, though still pretty significant, 11.255% to PGR. And Luxembourg, similar, 11.161%.
Right, so still growing, just maybe not at quite the same pace as Germany or the UK.
Exactly. It just shows how local dynamics, maybe infrastructure regulations can affect the pace, even when the overall trend is clear.
Good point.
Okay, now, let's turn our attention over to North America.
Right.
2021 figures show sales revenue of $15.079 billion. Projections indicate it'll reach $64.193 billion by 2033.
Okay, so a big jump in absolute terms again. But this is where the data gets, well, frankly, a bit puzzling.
Well, how so?
Well, the individual countries within North America, they show really strong growth. The U.S., for example, has a healthy 12.706% CAGR, projected to hit over $52 billion itself by 2033.
Okay, that sounds robust.
Canada's even stronger, 13.630% CAGR, and Mexico, also strong at 13.044%, all solid double digits.
Right. So what's the puzzle?
The puzzle is the overall reported CAGR for the entire North America region. It's listed as just 0.128%.
0.1%. That can't be right, can it, compared to those country numbers?
It's a huge discrepancy, isn't it? It immediately makes you stop and think.
Yeah, what could possibly explain that? Is it like maybe the typo in the report, or?
Could be. Or perhaps it's some kind of data aggregation issue. Maybe some older declining technologies are somehow factored into that overall regional number in a way that washes out the growth from LED and OLED when you look at the total.
It's possible, I suppose.
Or it could point to some specific market dynamic we're not seeing, maybe consolidation, a particular accounting method. We don't have the explanation from this source.
Right.
But it's a perfect example of why doing a deep dive isn't just reading off numbers. It's about asking, okay, what's the story behind this data point? Or what isn't this number telling us directly?
Good reminder. Challenges you to look deeper, for sure.
Exactly.
All right, so that's a bit of a head-scratcher for North America. Let's broaden the view again. What about other key markets around the globe?
Right. Well, South America is showing strong overall growth, a CAGR of 13.775%.
Pretty high.
Yeah. And countries like Argentina at 14.352% CAGR and Chile 14.062% are really pushing that average up. Brazil's also showing robust growth. Seems like there's burgeoning demand across the continent.
Yeah.
Then you have the Middle East, also very high growth, 13.711% CAGR overall, with some really fast-growing markets in there, like the UAE, an amazing 14.450% CAGR.
Wow.
And Turkey's not far behind at 14.123%. Plus, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Qatar, they're all contributing significantly, often tied to, big infrastructure projects, smart city initiatives they're undertaking.
Makes sense. And Africa?
Africa shows consistent growth, too, at 13.038% CAGR overall. Nigeria and South Africa are mentioned as key players there, reflecting, increasing access to technology and growing urbanization across parts of the continent.
So really, when you step back, what this paints is a picture of truly widespread adoption. It's not just one or two regions.
Not at all.
From the biggest economies to emerging ones, across all these diverse global markets, it really is a worldwide phenomenon, reshaping how you interact with technology every single day.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so let's try and recap the key takeaway here. The LED and OLED market, it's undergoing phenomenal global growth. Simple as that. The projections out to 2033 are seriously impressive. And it's not just happening randomly. It's driven by that relentless innovation, pushing the tech forward.
Constantly improving.
Right. Plus, rising demand everywhere. Consumer gadgets, cars, buildings, you name it. And that undeniable critical push for better energy efficiency.
And if we connect that back to the bigger picture, this widespread adoption, this continued, almost exponential growth, it really underscores a massive global shift.
How so?
Well, it's not just about how we light our living rooms or look at our phones anymore. It's fundamentally changing things like resource consumption patterns.
Right, the energy side again.
Exactly. And technological integration into daily life, even the future of visual communication. It's quite profound, actually, which raises an important question, I think.
Okay.
For you, the listener, to consider.
All right, let's hear it. Leave us with something to think about.
Well, considering these truly astounding growth rates we've just discussed, and the inherent energy efficiency of LED and OLED, What kind of profound impact might this widespread global adoption actually have on our long-term energy infrastructure
Mm.
and our overall consumption patterns by, say, 2033?
And maybe what entirely new applications could even emerge as these technologies become even more ubiquitous, even more integrated into the fabric of our, connected world.
Ever just stopped and thought about how light and visuals, the stuff all around us, isn't just lighting things up, but actually changing how everything works? From that amazing screen in your hand to the smart lights on your street, something big is happening. Today, we're diving deep into one of the fastest growing bits of modern electronics, the LED and OLED displays and lighting market. Think of this as your express lane to getting what's going on in this really transformative industry.
That's a perfect way to put it, yeah. For this deep dive, we've gathered the key insights from recent market research. We want to give you a really clear, concise picture of, well, the incredible growth, some surprising challenges, and definitely where things are heading. Our goal here is basically to pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge for you, make something complex feel clear and interesting.
Okay, so let's unpack this massive growth. What's really driving it? What are the key forces pushing LED and OLED tech forward right now?
Well, one huge piece is something maybe quieter. The huge demand for energy-efficient lighting.
Mm.
It's a major starting point. We're seeing a global shift. Governments, consumers who care about the environment, they're actively choosing LED and OLED lighting.
Right, moving away from the old bulbs.
Exactly. And what's really powerful isn't just that they last longer, though they do, it's how much less energy they use.
Mm.
Significantly less. That's fundamentally changing the economics.
Economics, how so?
Well, think about rising electricity costs and stricter environmental rules. Suddenly, energy efficiency isn't just nice, it's essential, an economic must-have. So cities,
Yeah.
industries, even our homes, everyone's embracing these greener options. And that naturally fuels a booming market for smart, sustainable lighting.
Okay, so efficiency is huge, but it's not just about keeping the lights on cheaper, right? Where else are these popping up?
Oh, absolutely. The story definitely doesn't stop there. The second major force is the explosion in consumer electronics and these next-gen displays, OLED, advanced LEDs. They're quickly becoming standard. You see them everywhere. Smartphones, TVs, laptops, those wearable gadgets.
Yeah, the screens look amazing now.
They do, and that's what fuels it. Consumers really want high-resolution, super thin, even flexible displays. Things that look incredible, but also use less power. People expect vibrant visuals now, smooth experiences, sleek design. And these technologies deliver exactly that.
It feels like it's moved beyond just our gadgets and homes, though. What about bigger picture stuff, like cities?
That's the perfect transition. Because the third big driver is definitely the rise of smart cities and all these infrastructure upgrades happening. Urban centers everywhere are investing heavily in intelligent lighting systems, using LEDs and OLEDs, of course.
So not just brighter streetlights.
No, much more. We're talking sophisticated systems,
Mm.
automation, remote control, lights that adapt their brightness automatically. The benefits for cities are huge. Better public safety, looks nicer, cuts energy waste way down, and much lower maintenance costs. You see it in parks, train stations, bus hubs, and yeah, just regular street lighting. It's all paving the way for more connected, efficient cities.
Wow, okay. Those are some powerful drivers. It sounds like unstoppable growth, but can't all be easy, right? Are there hurdles, roadblocks the industry is facing?
Oh, definitely, yes. As with any boom, there are challenges. A big one, particularly for OLED, is the initial cost of making them. Manufacturing OLEDs needs specialized processes, and the materials aren't cheap organic compounds, flexible substrates.
So that's why OLED TVs are still pretty pricey compared to standard LEDs.
Exactly, it results in that premium price tag.
Mm.
And that makes them harder to sell to, regular consumers watching their budget or businesses trying to save costs.
Okay, so cost is a barrier. Does that mean it might stay niche? Or could it become more mainstream, like flat screen TVs eventually did?
Well, that cost issue connects to another challenge. Some technological limits, especially around durability and how long they last, particularly OLED displays.
Limits. Like what?
Well, while the picture quality is stunning, there's a potential downside. Issues like screen burn-in can happen.
Burn-in. You mean like on old plasma TVs?
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
Where static images can eventually leave a faint ghost behind because pixels degrade unevenly. and just general degradation over time. They can also be sensitive to moisture, and their lifespan might be shorter in really bright places or outdoors. These things kind of limit where you can use them effectively. Maybe not ideal for huge outdoor digital signs or really rugged industrial displays that are on 24/7.
Right. That makes sense. You need reliability in those spots.
Manufacturers are constantly doing this balancing act, amazing visuals versus long-term toughness. It's a trickier balance than with older screen tech.
I can see that. Okay. Cost, durability. What about the bigger picture? Supply chains. Anything tricky there?
Yes, that's the third key challenge. Supply chain and raw material volatility. It's a real factor. The industry relies heavily on certain critical materials, things like indium, gallium, rare earth elements.
Stuff that isn't always easy to get.
Exactly. So if there's any disruption, maybe geopolitical tensions, maybe just resource scarcity, you can see sudden price jumps or manufacturing delays. These dependencies make the whole supply system a bit fragile, honestly, and that can hit product costs and just general market stability.
Okay. So challenges are definitely there. High costs, some tech limits, fragile supply chains. But despite that, you still sound optimistic about the future. What's on the horizon? What's exciting?
Absolutely. Despite the hurdles, the future looks incredibly bright. What's fascinating now is the innovation pushing boundaries, like the emergence of flexible displays, foldable ones, even transparent ones.
Transparent displays, really?
Yeah. Manufacturers are moving way beyond flat panels. They're making bendable OLEDs that can curve, fold right in half, or even become see-through. We're already seeing these futuristic designs pop up. Smartphones that fold, car dashboards that look seamless, clever retail signs.
Wow.
They offer new functions, obviously, but also just a really strong aesthetic appeal. People and businesses find that very compelling. Imagine, like, a car dashboard blending right in, or a shop window showing info right on the glass.
That sounds like science fiction becoming reality. Flexible displays, transparent screens. Amazing. But what about that human side you mentioned earlier, especially with lighting? How is it affecting us personally?
That's a really important trend, and it's fascinating. It's the adoption of what's called human-centric lighting, tunable lighting systems. Because LED and OLED tech has advanced so much, lighting can now actually mimic natural daylight patterns throughout the day.
Mimic daylight. Why would we want that indoors?
Well, these intelligent systems aren't just about making things visible. They're designed to actively support our well-being, boost productivity, even help regulate our natural body clocks, our circadian rhythms.
Ah, okay. So it affects how we feel and perform.
Precisely. You're seeing these systems being installed in hospitals, modern offices, and definitely in smart homes too. There's just this growing awareness now about how profoundly lighting impacts us, psychologically and physiologically,
Yeah.
and that's driving demand for dynamic, personalized light that adapts to what we need.
Okay, so let's wrap this deep dive up. It's crystal clear the LED and OLED market is really surging ahead. It seems powered by this mix of sustainability needs, incredible innovation, and how our cities are changing. And yeah, there are definitely challenges as high production costs, supply chain worries, but the potential to just completely transform how we see things and use light, it's undeniable. Really a pivotal industry right now.
Absolutely. And maybe leave you with this thought. As these lighting and display technologies get more personal, more integrated into everything, just consider how they might fundamentally redefine our everyday spaces, our homes, our cities, and maybe even affect our well-being in ways we're only just starting to grasp